Hi guys, James Ripino here. Kamusta kayo? I know some people are not really okay right now and I feel like na kailangan ko gawin tong video na to because of the things that I announced yesterday. So by the way, right now is May 20, almost 1 a.m. na of May 20. Kakauwi ko lang galing Bicol from a event with OKX, and then yesterday morning nag-announce tayo 9 a.m. yesterday, which is basically May 19. Officially I resigned being the CMO of Kiki, and I'm creating this video basically to address, because there has been a lot of, like, I think, misunderstandings inside the community. And I hope within this video is ma-solve natin and mas ma-explain ko sa inyo guys kung ano yung nangyari. So moving before, naalala nyo nung around December, mga Pasko yun December 25, 26, 27, when I discovered Kiki. I was very bullish. One of the main reason is, of course, may alpha ako from this project, and nakita ko talaga before nila binuo tong project na to, there has been, like, very deep fundamentals. And there's just some feeling na based on my experience, sabi ko, I think this project will eventually fly. And to cut a long story short, ngayon nga lumabas na yung project na yon, nag-boom siya, and to cut a long story short, we were able to really influence a lot of people in the Philippines na bumili ng coin na to. By posting content in TikTok na grabe laki ng kinita ko. If I am not mistaken, I think I invested 7 to 8 thousand pesos way back nung time na yon, and then it turns to naging $268,000 siya, which is like crazy, no? And yes, nangyari talaga sa mundo ng crypto. But kung gaano rin kabilis lahat ng mga pangyayari sa crypto when it comes to gains, ganon din po pwede kabilis bumagsak yung mga bagay guys sa mundo ng crypto. And basically, yun na nga yung nangyari guys sa Kiki. But before we dive into that, yung crash na nangyari sa Kiki, I would also like to address din yung pagiging CMO ko, paano ito nagsimula, and to those people na hindi nila na alam kung paano ako na-involve sa project na to, so ito po yung nangyari. So around January to, I was really proactive, being a advocate, parang hindi ako promoter, I can say advocate ako kasi nakita ko laki ng kinita ko, I want to share to other people, and I believe na Kiki will be a $1 billion market cap, or maybe 5 or even 10 billion, kasi sabi ko, wow, this is the first of it kind na legit IP na meme coin, which is compared kay Chill Guy na umabot ng around 700 to 800 million dollars market cap noong time na yon. Sabi ko, ngayon kung fake IP yon, baka this time itong cut na to baka lumaki siya ng more than $1 billion kasi legit IP siya. And at the same time, it's been a while na marami talagang tao sa mundo ng crypto ang naghihintay talaga ng big cat meme coin in this space. And I thought na si Kiki yung magiging ganon. So I was actively posting about Kiki, and then yung sumasali ako sa mga spaces, and eventually na-offeran tayo around February ata naman yun, nung na-offeran ako ng being a CMO. So, tinalok ako noon. I was actually overwhelmed kasi I didn't have any experience being a CMO of around nasa ilang million market cap na ata tayo, no? Nasa 80 million market cap ata tayo nung panahon na yon. And I feel like na malaking pressure sa akin. So, ang ginawa ko, tinanong ko yung community natin nung time na yon. And eventually, the community was very bullish. Sinuportahan nila ako. And sabi ko, let's try it out. Let's see kung ano pwede mangyari. And eventually, naging CMO tayo. And I believe na, sabi ko, pag naging CMO ko ng project na to, I will be able to really execute crazy ideas kasi nung nakilala ko yung buong team, napansin ko na karamihan sa kanila is medyo mga mas matatanda compared sa akin, at least a decade older sa akin, or even yung iba times 2 ng age ko. So I thought of like being a meme coin trader ever since also in the past. Of course, may experience din ako, although hindi naman ganun kalalim katulad ng iba dyan. But I have enough experience para malaman guys kung ano ba yung itsura guys, or ano ba yung gusto ng mga traders sa mundo ng trenches. Yung trenches basically means ito yung kung saan lumalabas yung mga small shitcoins and meme coins, mga small cap coins. So, isa sa mga pinaka naging challenging sa akin guys noong time na yon kasi being a CMO, I'm a marketing guy, so mostly ako yung external na tao sa loob ng team. So, just to tell you like a fact, CMO is basically a marketing guy, CEO is basically an executive guy, and COO is basically an operation guy, CCO is a creative guy. Ang pinaka mostly exposed talagang tao out there is yung marketing guy, which is me, yung CMO. So, mapapansin niyo once nung naupo ako sa CMO, I was giving continuous updates, yung mga upcoming listings na basically binibigay lang naman sa akin ng team. So, I didn't have any access, like let's say for example sa conversations dun sa mga tier 1.5, tier 2, tier 1 exchanges na mga pinaramis ni Kiki before. But every time na binibigyan ako ng order to promote or like to tell people na make sure na listing na nangyari, yun yung ginagawa ko. So I'm just fulfilling my job, and to cut the long story short, eventually and unfortunately, there's a lot of reasons bakit hindi natuloy itong mga listings na to. And ito yung mga actually hinahantay ng karamihan ng key community ng time na yon na hindi natuloy, which is also even me, I was waiting. That's why I'm super duper bullish. Imagine niyo tier 1.5 exchanges. I'm not sure if pwede ko i-mention dito, but alam niyo na yon yung mga pinupost ko ever since before sa mga Telegram channels or sa Twitter. Binanggit ko na yun dun lahat, guys. I'm not sure if pwede ko lang siya i-mention dito, but i-double check nyo na lang dun. But yun nga, hindi siya natuloy, and eventually, ako yung nadiin dun. Since nakuha sa akin ng tao information, hindi ko naman sila pwedeng i-blame na may mga ibang tao na, of course, inisip nila na baka ako yung nagtrabaho nitong bagay na to. But to tell you guys, basically, I'm just a marketing guy. Sinabi sa akin ng team, it's my job to market it. So, minarket ko siya out there. It's also the job of the other personnel na in charge doon, o kung sino man yung chief level na in charge doon, na i-make sure na matutuloy yun. And unfortunately lang, hindi nga siya natuloy. So, doon ako medyo, to be honest, even me na-disappoint ako kasi sabi ko sa team, sabi ko, guys, ako yung umaharap sa mga community natin, particularly sa Pilipinas. We have the most holdings in the Philippines. In fact, under my influence, if I'm not mistaken, I think more than 10,000 wallets yung bumili under our influence. Ang laki ng group natin, grabe. 30,000 plus yung group natin na sobrang active natin noong time na yun. Yeah, may mga kumita, may mga na, of course, yung mga kumita, mga tahimik na sila right now, happy na yun mga yun. But, of course, yung mga tao na may mga losses, yung mga bumili ng Kiki because of me, all I can say, guys, is I'm in the same shoes as yours. Want to tell you guys a story about sa hacking. Maraming tao dyan na hindi sila naniniwala na tunay yung nangyaring hacking. So, all I can say about this one is, if you can really prove na hindi totoo yung hacking, then prove it. Everything is on chain. You guys have my wallet address. You can check where the money go. If you can prove to me talaga na self-hack ko siya ginawa, then go for it. Then publicize it. Haharapin ko yun ng buo. But all I can say you guys, totoong nahack po talaga yung wallet ko. And we were able to actually recover it. And sabihin ko na rin for this video, guys, kung ano talaga nangyari dun sa hack story na yun. I was basically hacked by someone close to me. Nainggit siya sa akin. Meron siyang access dito sa bahay. Na-access itong computer ko. And then, that time I was not in my house. Very, very close kasi siya dito sa bahay talaga. So, na-access itong computer ko. And yun, kinuha niya yung private key ko. And so basically, nangyari yung hack talaga, manually talaga siya. So, na-login niya yung phantom wallet ko dun sa phantom wallet niya sa phone niya, and ginawa niya na yung hacking. Ganun lang siya kadali. So basically, ganun lang nangyari yung hacking na yun. So, again, hindi ko kayo pipiliting maniwala, but I'm a man of integrity. I never lie. I always do what is due. Hindi ko naman kayo lolokohin, guys. Alam nyo naman yan. Ever since in my TikTok career days, in my e-commerce days, lahat ng mga products ko, never kong niloko yung mga tao, whether original ba yan or fake. Lagi kong ginaguarantee palagi. Pag meron kayong kinukuha ng products, meron akong pinupunta na products, I always tell you the truth. So next naman is paano ako dumating sa point na mag-decide na mag-step down na talaga as CMO. So originally, guys, one of the main reasons is financially. Since I lost a lot in Kiki, in fact, actually, 90% of my portfolio is actually in Kiki. I invested almost everything na kinita ko sa pagti-TikTok live selling ko for the past 1.5 year. And right now, I lost everything. And hindi rin ako makapagbenta. And one thing na na-realize ko kay being a KOL, with this kind of power is, pag meron ko pinromote a project, any project, let's say kahit hindi pa yan Kiki, let's say pinromote ko tong certain coin na to, pag binenta ko yung coin, pag nag-take profit ako yung magiging kontrabida sa buong community. And kung sakali man na hindi ko man to ibenta, ending matatalo rin ako, malulugi din ako. Kasi eventually naman, guys, sa mundo ng crypto, guys, bumabagsak din naman ng any token out there. Kiki was supporting me, they gave me a salary, and at the same time, you know, I hired multiple peoples working under me para ma-execute ko yung trabaho under Kiki. Sinuporta nila ako, i-build natin yung YouTube channel. Sabi ni James, gumawa ka ng mga YouTube videos, educate mo yung mga tao, and then i-engganyo mo sila na bumili ng Kiki later on. Sabi ko, sige, but sabi ko, tuturuan ko sila mag-crypto, but hindi ko sila pwedeng ma-force na bumili. I can always show them Kiki, but at the end of the day, sabi ko nga, even sa sales before, the product will always sell its own product. Sabi ko sa kanila nung time na yun na, guys, we need a roadmap. Before nyo pa guys i-complain yan, before nyo pa guys hanapin sa team yan, internally guys, sinasabi ko na sa team na guys, we need a roadmap. Kasi even me as the CMO, hindi ko rin maintindihan kung saan ba talaga pupunta yung project na to. I was suggesting like mag-outsource na rin kami kung hindi kinakaya ng internal team namin i-develop lahat ng mga balak namin gawin, mag-outsource na kami. We spend some extra budget kasi may budget naman yung team ng time na yon. But to cut the long story short, dumating sa point na I realize na every time na nagsasuggest ako sa team, hindi rin siya nasusunod or hindi rin siya ina-acknowledge or hindi rin siya nag-a-apply. So, sabi ko sa sarili ko, ano pa yung role ko being a CMO? And then later on also, sabi ko nga financially, medyo nagkakaroon kasi kami ng challenges internally when it comes to finance. So sabi ko, you know what guys, para mas maging madali para sa inyo, para mas makatulong ako sa project, sabi ko, when it comes to salary, huwag nyo na akong bayaran. Yung team na hinire ko, which is ang sahod ng team ko right now is basically around $5,000. So, malaki-laki din yun guys, yung video editors, yung mga moderators na nakikita nyo sa group natin, mapapansin niyo na 24/7 yung moderators guys, talagang active talaga yan and binabayaran talaga natin yan lahat, hindi yan mga volunteers. Kasi I know that investing in community is the best and I want to be one of the biggest and best community out there na makakatulong sa inyo. So yun na nga, even up to sa PBW, nakita naman ninyo, nirepresent ko yung Kiki noong time na yun. And I was even processing everything up to the last mile na sabi ko, asikusin ko yung booth natin, yung pagiging title sponsor natin. Again, to cut the long story short, every time I execute a job, it's always a challenge for me na parang i-execute siya because of a lot of hurdles. Maybe like the due process internally sa loob ng team. And hindi ko naman sila sinisisi. I'm not telling na merong ibang tao may kasalanan dito. Ako ba or what? I don't know kung sino may kasalanan. But what I realize is maybe I'm not really compatible since yung generations namin is basically at least or at minimum or at least 1 to 2 generations apart, which is actually very very different in terms of culture. So mapapansin niyo yan guys, sa Gen Z minsan gusto natin mabilis, sa mga ibang tao naman na mas matatanda sa atin gusto nila medyo mas conservative. Being a CMO ever since guys, mapapansin niyo even sa TikTok, mabilis talaga ako kumilos sa lahat ng mga bagay. So yun yung naging reason bakit ako nag-step down, and I thought of like maybe there's a better person na maging CMO for the project na mas compatible mag-work sa kanila. So I never had like a grudge na mag-step down because galit ako with any people in the team. No, that's not true. It never happened. This is a personal decision. Overall, I'm still rooting for Kiki. Actually nga, iniisip ko nga, ano bang gagawin ko sa holdings ko? Kasi technically guys, hindi ko naman siya matitake profit eh. Being blunt sa inyo. Minsan nga, iniisip ko, what if pamigay ko na lang sa community para makabawi man lang ako kahit paano sa inyo. Kahit wala na akong kitain, kahit wala na akong mabalik kahit ni piso, nahack na tayo or whatsoever, okay lang sa akin. At the end of the day naman, alam ko naman sa sarili ko na makakabawi din naman ako overtime sa mga susunod na opportunities. Also, I have a message guys dun sa mga tao na number one sumusuporta sa atin until right now na dinidepensahan si James 3.0. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. I love you all. Grabe, nakikita ko kung paano kayo nakikipaglaban dun sa mga fathers. Pag sinabi natin fathers, ito yung mga fear, uncertainty, and doubt people na talagang galit na galit talaga sa akin, no? Nagko-comment talaga sa Telegram channels natin. In fact, hinayaan ko muna sila. Mapapansin niyo walang moderator na nagbaban today. Like since like May 19 up until right now as of recording this video. Kasi sabi ko, let's let the people express what they really want. I want to read kung gaano talaga kadalim yung ginawa nila. Most of the people na napapansin ko na medyo sobrang frustrated talaga is nag-overinvest sila. Although I understand na I mentioned before na mag-DCA tayo because I thought and I was hoping also, I was also expecting organically and personally na mag-bounce back yung price ng Kiki, but unfortunately the whole market worsened and medyo nahirapan si Kiki din mag-survive ng mga time na yon. And I totally understand and I feel sorry, sometimes I feel accountable. But in crypto guys, one thing na kailangan kong ituro sa inyo, even though nagalit na kayo sa akin, is whenever you see anyone, even me, even si CZ pa yan, even si Elon Musk, si Trump, or kahit sino pa yan guys sa mundo ng crypto, anything they promote, anything they post, will always be a not financial advice. Pag sinabing not financial advice, hindi ka namin sinasabing o hindi ka namin ino-oblige, hindi ka namin pinipilit bumili. Pinapakita namin sa inyo na bumili kami nito, kasi we think na puputok to or kikita kami na malaki dito. Okay? Second, whenever you feel investing, whenever you also believe in something na kung saan mo man siya makita, kahit sino kayo creator, only invest what you can afford to lose. Okay? So, karamihan ng mga nagko-comment right now sa loob ng community natin na medyo galit na galit talaga is ito yung mga tao na napapansin ko na medyo nag-all in talaga sila. Again, di ko sila masisisi. Maybe talagang kagustuhan talaga nila kumita ng pera or sobrang lalim ng tiwala nila sa akin, which I'm very, very thankful. And I hope guys na you give me a second chance. I think naman di naman dito nagtatapos yung James 3.0. Lagi ko sinasabi minsan sa community natin sa loob, sabi ko, guys, this is James 3.0. This is not actually a Kiki group chat. Alam ko naman na most of you guys actually inside the group na, yun nga, Kiki holder kayo. Pero guys, this is James 3.0 community. And we have so much to gain. We have so much to achieve in the future. I'm actually planning a lot of things guys for the next 3 months para sa atin. Ilalabas ko sa in the future sa inyo. Ayoko maulit yung ginagawa ko with Kiki na mag-a-announce ako ng mga listings na hindi naman sure. Lulutuin ko muna siya. Isisecure ko muna yung mga partnerships. Ayusin ko muna yung mga deals lahat para once ilabas ko sa inyo guys, makabawi ako sa inyo. So, yun lang. Again, I'm really sorry. I think dapat, sinasabi ng ibang tao, hindi dapat ako mag-sorry. Pero sige, magsasorry na lang ako guys kasi ayoko pong pairalin yung pride here. I still feel accountable. And I hope after this video guys na mapanood ng karamihan, we can move on from what happened. And we can gain back things before even tenfolds. Yun lang. Again, this is James 3.0, also known as Kuy James and now James Afante. We have so much videos coming here on our YouTube channel. So see you soon. God bless.